promised I'm going to do a haul video from my recent trip to London. I went to GH Leathers in Whitechapel, and I also had a little visit down the Goldhawk Road as well. I can't remember all of the shop names from the Goldhawk Road. I should have really took some pictures as I came out, but I'll still show you what I got. So I'll start with the GH Leathers. If you've seen my post on my page and my group, you know that it was just a cornucopia of colours and textures, and it was just amazing. It was fantastic, and the staff in there are absolutely amazing as well. So if you're looking for anything along those lines, if you've not sewn with leather before and you're unsure what to get, give them a ring. They are really helpful, and I will drop their links in the description box down below. So I'll start with the leathers. It's all down here because it's massive. So I'm going to start with this little piece first. So this I wasn't even planning on getting. Hopefully you can see that colour nicely. This was actually sort of like after I'd said, yeah, I'm done, thanks very much, and go and pay. And then this one just caught my eye. As you can see, it's not a huge piece. I think it's lamb. But yeah, it's so soft. It's like a petrol tealy blue colour, and yeah, I love it. And then this is the next one. This just really caught my eye, this bright orange. This is a half cowhide. It's a small, obviously a smaller cowhide. It's quite thin. It's just under a mil thick, so really easy to be using with bags. Again, just much like so soft. Obviously it's a little bit stiffer than the lamb hide, but yeah, it's just gorgeous. I just love it. They've all just kind of been sitting on my floor since I got back, so I need to roll them up and put them away. So this is why I thought I would try and get the video filmed. So this is another half. I'm going to put it up in front of my face so the camera can kind of pick up the colour instead of trying to pick up my face. Yeah, this is sort of like a metallic, sort of steely gunmetal grey colour. This is quite a big size. This is like, say, a half hide again, but it's a bit of a bigger one. So lots and lots of bags to be made out of that. And then I got this sort of blue. I don't know how to describe the blue actually. I don't know whether it would be cornflower blue, that's how you describe it. But this one's slightly thicker. It's a little bit over a mil, but again, just so soft, so supple. It's really similar to a colour that I've seen somebody make some other bags up with, and they just look fantastic, so I couldn't resist that one when I saw it. And these three are, there's like a clearance sort of section downstairs, and these next three all came from that clearance section as well. So this sort of pistachio green, again, I just fell in love with it. Anybody who knows me knows how much I love green. So yeah, I just saw this one and thought, got to have that one too. This is a really big size. It's really hard to kind of show you on camera, but yeah, it is a big. This is a half as well, so obviously this was a big hide, and it's a half size. And then this, never sewn with suede before, but I saw this and was like, that is just my colour and I have to have it. So it's this deep green, like jadey emerald forest green. I'll sort of move it around so you can see sort of like the texture of the different sort of how it highlights the colours. Again, I just absolutely love it. Never sewn with suede before, but I'm gonna give it a go. Another reason that I picked this up is I'm getting married in December, and our colours are actually green and navy. I'm not wearing a traditional wedding dress, I'm wearing a green dress, and I thought I can't decide whether I'm going to go with navy shoes and navy bag or green shoes and green bag with my dress. So I thought, well, this will give me something I can make. Maybe it's a sky. I think I've got my heart set on having a sky for the wedding, and if I don't use it for the wedding, I'm sure I'll use it for something. So yeah, this again, and it just smells amazing. And last but not least, this one is huge. Bearing in mind all of these were in like sort of 5 really big carrier bags, and this was in Whitechapel. I was staying in Russell Square because I was on my own, and I know the hotels in Russell Square because I've stayed in them previously. So I was like, right, I'm just going to stay in one of those, and then I know where I am, I know where the tube station is, and actually I think I know London a little bit better than what I gave myself credit for, but hey ho. But Russell Square and Whitechapel are quite a distance away from each other, so I walked when I went there, because I'd been at a training session at London Bridge. That's what I'd gone to London for, was this sort of like training network and kind of business event. And I was like, right, it's only sort of like 35-40 minutes walk from London Bridge to Whitechapel. I'll just quickly walk there, and then I'll kind of get the tube, or as up north we call them, the metros. But yeah, still carrying all these bags just to the tube station and then back, because I think I ended up getting off at Tottenham Court Road, and then it's about a 15-minute walk. So yeah, there was a Costa stop after coming out of Tottenham Court Road. But because, you know, when you're fairly chunky and you're going through the menopause and it is red hot in London, that was quite some walk. But I earned every little piece of cake and coffee that I had in London, because I did do some walk, and I think I did 40,000 or 43,000 steps or something in 3 days. So I earned it, and I earned all the leather as well. So anyway, last but not least is this sort of, it's really hard to describe. It's a brown, but, and I don't know whether like the light is sort of picking that up, is that it's got sort of like a grey like undertone to it. It's just such a beautiful colour. It's not a really rich, you know how some browns have that sort of really reddy undertone. This has a much more muted sort of grey undertone that just really caught my eye. And I don't normally go for I don't want to say boring colours because it's not boring, but you know, I don't normally tend to go for sort of like so much neutral colours. I'm always kind of drawn to bright colours, especially green, and you know, the orange, that caught my eye straight away. So I would normally tend to go for something, you know, maybe it's a little bit more out of the norm, but when I saw this, I was just like, that is absolutely beautiful, and it would lend itself to being married up with other fabrics really quite well, because I think it does have that sort of like not that ready undertone. I think would blend really well with a lot of fabrics. This hide is huge. This was just in a bag on its own. I can't even sort of show you really the size of this. It is massive. It does have some imperfections. It's got a few little holes in places, so I got this, like this massive hide, like really cheaply. I think off the top of my head it was 50 or 60 quid, and for the size of it, it's well over. It's like the biggest size hide that they do. So I was really chuffed with that, because where there are slight imperfections, they were going to be easy to cut around. And to be fair, if I was making something for me, I don't actually know whether I'd cut them out, because I quite like that sort of, that history of the skin, and you know what it's kind of been through, and the history of the animal that it's come from. I know obviously some people don't like to use leather because, you know, if they're vegetarian and that sort of thing, and I actually didn't use leather for quite a long time, because I actually thought that it was cruel, because I had this, and I don't know whether I'd watched something at some point, and but I'd gotten it from somewhere that leather came from animals bred just for their leather, And it wasn't until I started doing a little bit of research that was like, what's actually a byproduct of meat? And I'm, you know, I am a meat eater. I'm quite a big meat eater. I don't really eat much veg. So I still like to make sure that any leather I use has been ethically sourced. You know, it's tanned in countries that don't use, or in organisations that don't use slave labour. And it is, with all of the things in place, it is quite easy to kind of trace back where things have come from. A lot of the companies have all the information on their website, like the tannin that they use, where they get the skins from and what have you. So, you know, if you, like me, a little bit, you know, want to be a little bit conscious about the things that you are using and making sure that, you know, nobody's being exploited in the process of it. I mean, obviously my partner works for a charity that supports people who've been exploited, so I'm maybe a little bit more aware of how these things kind of come about. But, you know, if you go onto the websites, not just of this leather place, but all of the leather places, they will have, they'll have modern day slavery policies, but they'll also have information on the tannin, so where it goes to be tanned, the processes that it's gone through. And so it is really quite easy, if that's something that you want to make sure that if you do want to go down the route of using leather, that you're doing it ethically. It is really quite easy to make sure that you're doing that. Sorry for the sniffing, my hay fever's going crazy today. So yeah, so literally the sort of smaller cow hides were around about £20–25 I want to say, and then the bigger half cow hides were around about 35 to 40. It all depended on if there was imperfections in them, the thickness of them, and all of that sort of thing. The little small one was on like an end of range rail. I think it was about 20 quid, something like that. I have got it, obviously a thingied invoice, but that's been filed away. I can't believe I was actually organised to do that. So, but yeah, I was actually really happy with the quality and like amazed at the price. But yeah, which did lead me to probably buy a little bit more than what I should have, and it did mean it was quite difficult to kind of get back over to the other side of London, but I managed, and I did it, and I managed to get it all on my case as well. So I'll quickly go through what I got down the Goldhawk Road. I was a little bit more reserved because I do have quite a few sort of fabrics for linens and that sort of thing, so I am well stocked up, so I am on a little bit of a ban, self-imposed obviously. So I got these ones in I can't remember the name of the shop. What I'm actually going to do though is I did do a blog post about the leather place, which is up on the website, and I am going to go and do one about the fabrics I got on the Goldhawk Road, because I'll be able to Google the shops and be like, it was that one, and I'll be able to put the pictures in that way. So watch out for that going on my website. But I got these two, again green, what a surprise. These are, I think they come from like Holland. I can't remember the name of the Dutch Heritage, yeah, Dutch Heritage Fabrics these are. So, and then I got this one, which is a bit more of like a earthy green. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. So I got a metre of each of those for linens, and I got, that was from the same shop, and then from a different shop, this was, I can remember this one, this was if you come out of Goldhawk Road tube station and you're facing down towards Shepherd's Bush, it's the very first shop on your right. I want to say A to Z Fabrics, but I might be wrong, so I will put up a blog post about it. So I got this sort of wool. I just saw it in the window and I was like, yeah, I love that. I'm gonna have a metre of that, because I do like working with wool fabrics as well. And then I picked up this peacock cotton. I think it's sort of like a cotton poplin, which again I just thought would work really well with quite a lot of the fabrics that I've got for exteriors, this would work amazingly for interiors or for accent pieces. And then I picked this one up because I want to do a few projects more towards Christmas, but I did just love the green. So these are obviously like poinsettias with green and like gold, like not trim, like accents picked out. But again, I got a metre of this one, so that was all from the same shop. And then I got this wool, and again, I just, as soon as I saw this one, I was like, I absolutely love that. And I don't know if you can see, I'll hide my face, the colours, the sort of yellowy greeny colour and then the blue colour, both of those I got in the leather. So I think this, it'll pick out this like sort of pistachio colour, and then this blue colour is very, very similar to the like the cornflowery blue leather. So I thought this would work really well as sort of pairing it with those for something. So this, I can't remember the name of this shop. It was, I think, I want to say, is it Orya, Orya? But again, like I say, I'm going to do a blog post, which once it's done, I'll go back into this video and put the description in. But they were what I got down the Goldhawk Road. It is like, again, a cornucopia of lots of different fabric shops. I got off at Shepherd's Bush. Yes, Shepherd's Bush. And just literally walked down the street and you hit the Goldhawk Road. It was the easiest, because I'd been to Liberty's on the morning, basically just sort of a look around and go and see the building and such like, which again I've done a blog post on. And so yeah, I was going over from Liberty's to the Goldhawk Road, so with the tube it was easiest to get off at Shepherd's Bush. And like I say, I just literally walked down the street. There's sort of like a big sort of green area between the two main roads, and you just walk down there and then you come out at the top of the Goldhawk Road. There is a tube station at Goldhawk Road, which is kind of like part way down the road. So when you come out, if you come out and then face up towards Shepherd's Bush, along there is where all of the fabric shops are. So what I did is I just kind of walked along the mall, went in and out of the mall first, had a look at what everybody had, and then went back and got the things that I wanted to get. That can be a little bit difficult to do because some of the shop owners can be a little bit pushy. Some of the shops kind of have like a market vibe to them, not in sort of like how they're displayed, but in kind of, you know, that sort of stall holder, having to banter, trying to get you to buy more type thing. So, you know, you do have to be a little bit, if you want to stay on what you want to get. But I just sort of said to everybody, I'm having a look, and then I'm going to decide on what I want to come back for and come back. And everybody was all right. There was, I think I had one shop owner who was a little bit with me, because I think he thought I wasn't going to spend any money shopping. I was just coming in to waste his time, but, you know, hey ho. But, you know, most were fine when I just sort of said I was browsing, and, you know, I wanted to have a good look at all the shops first before I made any decisions, because there is so many. And a lot of them, you know, there's one that specialises in kind of silks and then there's another one that specialises kind of more in stretch fabric. So if you're doing anything like dancewear, that sort of thing, there were some shops that just had a plethora of that type of fabric. But yeah, literally I got there about 11 and left about 3:30, had a brief stop for something to eat and what have you, and yeah, was able to spend quite a lot of time perusing all of the fabrics and what have you. So that was my London haul. I've got two other fabrics as well. I don't think I've shown people, I've probably shown in the group, but went to Leeds a few weeks ago to meet up with my friend. My best friend lives sort of Leicester way, so every few months we try to meet up. Either I might go to her one time and she might come to me, but then the rest of the time we kind of meet up in between. So we went to Leeds, met up in Leeds. She always gets dragged around fabric shops, bless her. Last time we went to York, I was dragging around all the fabric shops, and then fangirled over Jill from the Sew and Bee, who was in socialising, and yeah, so she has to put up with me doing that quite a bit. But yeah, so I had quite a nice day kind of in Leeds. I do go to Leeds quite a bit because my daughter's in uni there. So went into the market, and I'm sure it's Fletchers. Lovely bloke, really canny bloke, and I picked up this wool, which somebody's told me it's very similar to sort of like an Irish type weave, but I mean, as I say, I was just drawn to all the colours, you know, a bit like a magpie like that. So that one I got in Leeds, and then this one went into B&M Fabrics, and the minute we walked through the door, I just heard Kerry go, "Oh my god, that one's you." And as I turned around, I literally saw this fabric, which like literally couldn't be more me if it had my name on it. It's green and it's leaf print, so I was just like, I love it. And they only had a few meters of it left, so I got it all. So when I got back, I was saying, Andy, I got this fabric, it's green leaf print, it's totally me. I said they didn't have much left though, so I was a bit, and he went, "You bought it all, didn't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I did. So yeah, it knows me really well. But this has actually got a really nice weight for it. Now, though I don't make clothes, it would lend itself to sort of like being, you know, a nice shirt, or like a skirt, or even something like that. So, you know, I never know, I might actually make myself something to wear out of it, as well as quite a few bags. But yeah, I just couldn't have been any more me. Like I say, if it had a neon flashing sign saying Deb above it. So yeah, so that is my haul from London, as I promised I would do. So I hope you've enjoyed sort of going through the fabrics that I bought, and hopefully you'll see them being made into things on the channel. I know I've been a bit sporadic lately with putting things on the channel. Some of you know, I haven't been in the best of health, and I've been quite poorly the last few months again. And yeah, and I have had a few posts and comments from people on the YouTube channel that haven't been particularly nice. Not horrible, not really nice, but just, yeah, when you spend time doing things, and you know, and then you get somebody commenting on your accent or your appearance, then it can be a little bit upsetting. And I am somebody who takes things really to heart. Like, oh, I'm so bad, and I wish I wasn't. I really wish I wasn't. And it has really stopped me putting content out there. But I've had a serious word with myself, and I've decided to put the big girl pants on, mainly because that's all that fits me at the moment. I have put a hell of a lot of weight on as well over the last few years, which I think has massively dented sort of like my confidence in myself. And I know that's ridiculous, because you shouldn't let something like that affect, but you know, it has. So yeah, but now I've decided I'm going to put the big girl pants on. I've got lots and lots of content that I want to put out on the website, and I'm not, and if people want to make horrible comments, then they're just going to get deleted. I'm not even going to reply. I had thought that I'd possibly just hand the phone to Andy and let him reply, because he has a very good knack of bringing people down to size. But I thought, you know, and I'm not even going to do that, because that wouldn't be me, that wouldn't make me feel any better, that would just make me feel awful. So no, anything horrible will just get deleted, end of. And I'm going to focus on all of the lovely comments that I get from people who say they find the visuals helpful, and you know, they like the style that I do, which I try to make laid back. I don't want my videos to be all singing, all dancing, with edits and transitions, and like I've said before, mainly because I just don't really know how to do them, and that's not what I want to give people. I want to give people my camera went off. It was like, Deb, you blathering, shut up, we're going to shut you down. So no, I'm going to focus on doing the type of videos that I want to do. Like I say, quite laid back, quite I want it to feel like people are kind of sitting in the room together, and you're sewing with a friend, and sharing an experience. That's kind of the vibe that I want to get from my videos, and I hope that's what comes across. So anyway, I've prattled on far too long. I hope you've enjoyed my haul. It smells amazing in the sewing room. I've just been walking in and just because I've been quite busy since I got back. I've got, as most of you know, I've obviously run a bag supply business, and I do that on my own, all the website, all the admin and everything, and I've just kind of, this last few months has just been taken up so much with trying to get the website sorted and loads of other admin things, but I'm kind of on the home straight with that now. There's a few little tweaks, so I'll back to lots more sewing, which will be starting this afternoon, because when I haven't sewn for a little while, when I haven't sewn for a little while, and I need to sort of get myself back in the swing of things, I make an NCW. That is what I do, because I can cut it out and whip it up in about 2 hours. And my friend, when we were in Leeds, had hinted about she needed a new purse and she loved the fabric, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an NCW with this and try and rekindle the sojo. So that probably will be the next video, because I did come across a video that was using no folds for the card slots, and it was on the big NCW, and I've worked out how to do that on the small NCW, so I might incorporate that into that video as well. And then I've also got a lot of videos kind of either partly recorded, partly edited, so they'll be coming out over the next few weeks and months and what have you, that are basically sort of little masterclasses. So masterclasses, where the heck did that come from? Masterclasses on installing rivets, installing hardware, making crossbody straps. I have done some of those in the past, but I kind of want to revisit them and do them differently. I think I've got better lighting now that I'm in the new sewing room. So yeah, so that is going to be my plan, and I'll try and lose the posh accent that just came out of nowhere there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm going to start waffling. Thanks for watching. If you don't already subscribe, please do so. Give the video a like, because it helps with algorithms and all that sort of thing, and I love to see people's comments, so if you want to leave me a comment, please do so, and if it's not nice, I'll just delete it. So until next time, happy sewing. See you later. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to see my next video when it's released. I'll see you next time.